Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning to all the Eurovision fans online as well. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the European Broadcasting Union and the Danish Broadcasting Corporation's joint press conference. My name is Ulla Essendrup. I'll be moderating this event and the following 8 press conferences with the international delegations. Now, at the panel here, I'd like to welcome, representing the EBU, we have Jon Ola Sand, who is the Executive Supervisor of the Eurovision Song Contest, and Sietse Bakker, who is the Event Supervisor of the Eurovision Song Contest. And on behalf of the Danish Broadcasting Corporation, we have Pernille Gaardbo, who is the Executive Producer, and Jan Lagerman Lundve, who is the Head of Show. Now, today the EBU will go over this year's participants, last year's voting issues, the current situation in Europe, as well as upcoming Eurovision events. But first, Pernille and Jan from the DBC will present you the setup and content of the Eurovision Song Contest 2014 here in Copenhagen. So, Pernille?
Yes, thank you, Ulla. I would just like to say welcome to all of you. So happy to see so many of you. And I just want to let you know that we've been looking so much forward to having you in Copenhagen and Denmark. And we hope that you'll enjoy your stay. Thank you.
Pernille, we are in a tent city, so to speak, and next to a giant behemoth of a concrete block over there. So can you explain a little bit about why you chose this venue?
Yeah. First of all, we became very, very inspired by this place, the island, and this old shipyard that the city of Copenhagen presented to us. But especially this big shipyard, this masculine, powerful building was a huge inspiration for us in the beginning. And second of all, we actually wanted to try to show that it's possible to do the Eurovision Song Contest in a different kind of setting. But we fell in love with the idea of this raw, masculine versus the glamorous and glitzy show, sort of a diamond in the rough, just like our logo.
Well, even the logo is based on this contradiction between rough and glamorous. What are the thoughts behind the whole visual identity?
Yeah, a diamond is both a hard stone and a jewel. And it symbolizes the hardness of the venue and the glamour of the show, and we found that very interesting. But it also tells a story of the many facets of Europe and the beautiful and powerful energy coming together on this special occasion.
And speaking of coming together, there are so many visitors coming here to Copenhagen for these 2 Eurovision weeks. And there's so much going on here during Eurovision week. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
There are hundreds and hundreds of things going on in the city right now. Especially 3 of them I would like to mention. The Fan Mile going through the busiest shopping street in Copenhagen with lots of things going on. And the Eurovision Village in the middle of the city. With performances and so on. And then Sunday we have this big red carpet event at the City Hall Square, where all the artists will join us at the red carpet and we'll have a party.
Well, you just said the next keyword there, because the theme or the tagline of this whole event is Join Us. Could you explain a little bit about what Join Us entails?
Yeah, well, Join Us was our initial idea for the whole show and for the way we wanted to work and present ourselves. It actually works in many levels. We really had a heartfelt ambition that we wanted to make you feel welcome coming to Copenhagen and to Denmark. We wanted to be the best host we can. That's an ambition. I hope you feel it. And then we wanted to invite the audience and the viewers to engage themselves and in the show, to join us, to join the party, to join the drama, the excitement and the celebration. And for us, Join Us is actually more than just a tagline. It's a way of being, a way of working together, and a way of inviting both audience and guests inside. And it's actually also the basic idea for our 3 shows.
So, Jan Lagerman, you are head of show, which means you are in charge of the content and the overall expression of the shows. Now, if Join Us is more than a tagline, as Pernille says, how will Join Us come to life in the show?
Yeah, as Pernille said, Join Us is, with that we mean that everybody is invited, and everybody is also invited in the show actually. And the 3 shows have their own themes. The first semi-final we call Join Us in Denmark. The second semi-final we call Joining the World. And the last one, the final, the big grand final, we call Join the Competition. And Join Us is an aspect in all our live acts, in our social media. And that's why we, 4 months ago, asked the viewers and the fans all over Europe to join in, send in their best dance moves, send in their best singing and the best ideas for an act. And I can tell you it's very, very... yeah, what can I say? It's so...
Because you've had many reactions,
yeah,
yes?
Exactly.
Many contributions.
Yeah, exactly. And actually we have made 3 acts out of these many clips and ideas from all over Europe.
But Jan, I understand you have brought a little surprise for us, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because we, the first semi-final, we start up with the Choir of Europe. Last night, actually, we finished the small part in the beginning of the show, where all the viewers from all over Europe sent in their voices, and I can show it to you. It's about 2 minutes, and I think it's not the first time I see it, but it's the first time I see it when it's done and finished, and I will share it with you.
So this is a little premiere.
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, let's see it. You really are combining or joining all the voices of Europe there, huh? That was fantastic.
Thank you.
But Jan, besides Join Us, what is the mission of the show?
The mission is to be closer to the competition, actually. We want to have more focus on the competition, and we want to get closer to the artists on the stage. We want to know them a little bit better when they're on the stage, and to get closer to the fans and the viewers all over Europe. Yeah. And that's why we placed the green room in the audience floor. We want them to be closer to the stage, be closer to the audience, and actually we have reinvented the postcard as well. we ask all the delegation to create their flag in a material that tells anything about them or their country. And yeah, actually I have some postcards to show you. It's
You're spoiling us today. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So shall we see them?
So maybe we should start going to Austria to watch the first postcards from them.
Absolutely.
And the next one is Belarus. Yeah.
Right, you have one more for us? Let's see Belarus. Don't stop, I want to see more.
I have one more you can...
You do?
Yeah,
Fantastic. And who's that?
United Kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
I must say, that is really creative there, Jan. A whole new take on the postcards. Respect, that was fantastic. Well, actually, you're spoiling us rotten, because I know you have actually one more thing to reveal for us about the show.
Yeah, why don't we just show it instead of tell it? Yeah, we came up with an idea because over the years there have been so many spectacular, crazy things going on the Eurovision stage, and we put that together in a book called Eurovision Book of Records, and I will show you what it is. It comes here.
It's time to take a look at another incredible Eurovision record. Here is the most silver. Through the years, it's been an ongoing battle to get the most attention on stage. And a few tricks have been used over the years. You can use amazing props.
It's like that twinkling.
You can use extreme enthusiasm. Or you can use an epic sax guy. But if you really want to outshine all your opponents, there's only one way. You need to silver up. And to find the most silver ever, we need to use the silver scope. And the silver level has always been extremely high in the Eurovision. But one lady, or man, eliminated all competition. The Ukrainian drag, Verka Serduchka, made a sparkling performance in 2007. She took the silver to a whole new, shiny level.
Well, there's really something to dive into there. Thank you so much, Jan. Thank you.
Actually, I have a record more to show.
Really?
Would you like to see a
You're
record
just
more?
full of surprises, aren't you?
Here comes most la-las.
Most la-las.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh-la-las.
Yeah.
In this book, you can find all kinds of impressive Eurovision records. For example, the most Lars. Since the start of Eurovision, 2 letters have been almost as essential as the voting process. L and A, and together... And quickly, the Lars evolved into a language of its own. You have the happy Lars, the emotional Lars, the obsessed Lars, the ooh-la-las, and even the funeral Lars. But it is hard not to smile when you do your Lars. In 1968, Spain even named their song. And the evergreen La 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 contained no less than 126 Lars. And apparently, they love the Lars in Spain because they set an all-time record in 1979. 4 kids sang the impressive number of 152 Lars. Congratulations, Spain.
So much fun there. Well, thank you so much, both of you, Pernille and Jan. Now, it's time for an update from the EBU, so please give a big applause to Jon Ola Sand and Sietse Bakker. Jon Ole, would you like to start?
DR, and I can seize this opportunity being here and to just say that I was out here in the early autumn, out on this peninsula outside Copenhagen. We were on a tour with Pernille and Jan to find good facilities for Eurovision Song Contest 2014. And in this old shipyard we had a tour in. It was actually freezing cold at that time. And we were discussing, is this possible? Is it really possible to do an event like Eurovision Song Contest on these premises? And yes, it is, and you will see it throughout the week. Next week, you've already been here for a couple of days. Yes, it is possible. The venue inside is absolutely spectacular. It has been so much professional work. And we decided to be here just because we had full confidence in DR and their expertise when it comes to hosting big events and also when it comes to TV production. So I would just like to say thank you, and what I've seen from this and more, I know we're up for a real treat next week with 3 fantastic shows here from Refshaløen outside the center of Copenhagen. But when it comes to news this year, I will give a sort of a brief rundown. We have 37 broadcasters this year, and I'm very glad that we could welcome back both Poland and Portugal, and we're very happy about that. Unfortunately, there were other broadcasters that couldn't join us, some for financial reasons, some for strategic reasons. There have been reorganization issues in some broadcasters that made them want to step off a year to rethink their approach towards Eurovision Song Contest. That was exactly the same that happened with Portugal last year. So we sincerely hope that they will be back. We will, however, transmit in all the countries that have decided to step down this year. So we will have broadcast in Cyprus, Serbia, Croatia. We will broadcast in Bosnia. We will broadcast in Kazakhstan, Australia. New this year is New Zealand. We're also finishing a negotiation deal with a broadcaster in Canada as a tryout for the first year. So the interest is high, and the broadcast is wide, if you can say that. And every year we look at how we can do things better. How can we improve Eurovision Song Contest? And it goes for both the shows, the 3 shows, but also logistically and financially. It is a huge operation for a host broadcaster. You win it and then you host it. And of course, we're very happy that the city of Copenhagen also have taken on great responsibility this year. It's of great help to the broadcaster, and it's important to have that joint operation to make sure that we can host magnificent events every year. But there are challenges in Europe, and that's why we are very focused on how we can scale this event to fit the different territories. And we have tools in place to do so. We have budget plans, and we have different operational support that we can give to broadcasters that are in a financial situation if they win here on the 10th of May. So we are on top of that situation, and we are constantly talking to broadcasters. And this year we also have a specific, serious and alarming situation in Europe. This is the situation that is going on in Ukraine, and we are following that very closely. First of all, to make sure that this won't impact the 3 shows. And I have all reason to believe that we will conduct the shows here in Copenhagen without any issues. I've talked to both the delegations several times over the last month and also here in Copenhagen, and they are both committed and focused on deliver a best possible result on stage to promote themselves and the country. And I was also talking about the artists here. They're young artists carrying a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. So far there has been no issues between the delegations, and we are confident that it will be like that the rest of the week. But there is a lot of question. What if, and how? What if Ukraine wins Eurovision Song Contest? What if Russia wins Eurovision Song Contest? Can we go there? I must say that, yes, it's a proud tradition to go to the country that won last year. This is a tradition that has been going on with a few exceptions over the last 59 editions of Eurovision, or 58 editions of Eurovision Song Contest. And it will be so this year. But we require very firm guarantees from the broadcasters and the authorities in the country. We require firm financial guarantee that they actually are able to fulfill their obligations and host Eurovision Song Contest. That is important for us. We cannot find ourselves in a situation where they actually cannot host it due to financial issues. That is important. And the other one is the security issue. We need to know that we can do it safe and secure. And we also need to know that we can be granted all the rights we need in order to do this in accordance with the legislation in Europe when it comes to press freedom, when it comes to freedom of movement, when it comes to all the social rights we need to have and secure in order for you to work the way you should work and feel safe in the country. And this is paramount for the EBU, and we will never step away from that. So you can be sure that we will follow this very closely. Last year, we faced an incident. You also, or most of you, saw the video from Vilnius, where people that we haven't been able to identify tried to buy votes in favor of a specific act. I saw the video, and it actually, I was pissed off, if I can use that expression. I was very angry about it. But I was more angry than worried. And the reason for that is that we have a very thorough and good professional setup when it comes to the televoting around Eurovision Song Contest. It's a massive operation going on, during the week of Eurovision Song Contest. In Cologne, we have more than 70 people watching over every single telepartner in Europe and their votes. We have very good, sophisticated digital systems, and we make sure that only valid votes are counted. So we feel that we are really on top of the televoting. But this incident made us think, how can we be better? And that's how we started to work with the reference group and also with other members' bodies, bringing the members on board and say, hey, what do? We see that this incident can occur. And we decided to focus, first of all, on the juries, to see how can we create more openness, how can we be more transparent in the way we deal with the juries, how we put it on display, and how we made every juror accountable for what they are doing. And this is actually one of the major changes we did this year.
Okay, thanks for that. Sietse, do you have anything you'd like to add? Would you like to elaborate?
Yes, as Jan Ola said, the televoting is thorough and solid. But we also have 50% professional music industry people who make up half of the result. And that deserves a lot of care and attention as well. So there have been very good talks in the reference group, which, as most of you know, is the decisive body of the Eurovision Song Contest. It's owned by the members of the EBU, and we are here to take care of it in the best possible way. The reference group decided to actually reveal the jury names, and that is exactly what we did yesterday. So all of you can go through them to check if they are indeed music industry professionals, to see if there is a good balance in all the juries, and to even spot if people are more connected with each other than they should, so that you can report that to us. All the members of the jury and the juries as a whole have been checked by both the EBU as well as PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is observing the Eurovision Song Contest independently to make sure everything goes according to the rules. And we also decided to reveal the split televoting and the split jury results, as well as every single individual voting ballot of every jury member right after the final on Eurovision.tv, so you can have a look at that as well. I would just like to inform you that we asked the delegations of 5 countries to make changes in their juries, which they have all done. And I'm sharing this information with you to underline that we are very much on top of this, and that we indeed ask broadcasters to come up with better juries if that is necessary. We also introduced a much tighter approach when it comes to incidents like Jan Ola just referred to. If there is an incident with the televoting, and after we investigate it, we come to the conclusion that this was indeed an attempt to unfairly influence the results. That will have an impact on the participation of a broadcaster for up to 3 years.
Right, I see. But what happens if you actually do notice there's something going on that does not correspond with the rules?
Well, then we have to look into it and not take any hasty decisions. But the decision of the reference group is that we cannot have broadcasters in if we see that this creates attempts to influence the voting. So, but this also needs to be looked at thoroughly and discussed before we can make any hasty decisions.
Actually, last year when we did interviews, and we got questions from some of you asking how does this voting actually work? What happens behind the scenes? And we thought we can do a much better job in explaining to you what enormous setup is going on behind the scenes to make sure that the result you see after the semifinals and after the final is the correct result. So we produced a 1.5-minute video to illustrate what it works like. Some of you might already have seen it, and for those who haven't, I would like to run it for you now.
Right.
In this video, we will explain to you what happens with your vote in the Eurovision Song Contest. The winner of the Eurovision Song Contest is decided by viewers like you. Music industry professionals also have a 50% stake in the result. Let's first see what happens with your vote. You can vote by telephone call, SMS or via the official app. Only votes submitted and received during the 15-minute voting window are counted in the voting. That's when you can make a difference and influence the outcome of the show. Your vote is forwarded to our voting control centre, where we collect and validate votes from all participating countries. Over 70 experts and an advanced computer system make sure that only valid votes are considered in the result. Independent observers from PwC carefully monitor the operation. For each country, the televotes are combined with the jury vote. Each national jury consists of 5 music industry professionals who rank the songs presented during the show. The jury's work is carefully overlooked by a notary in each country. After combining your country's televotes and jury vote, the song with the best result is awarded 12 points. The second best receives 10 points, the third 8, all the way down to 1 point. There are strict rules for all sorts of situations, such as a tie between songs. The entire procedure is monitored by the Eurovision Song Contest Executive Supervisor on behalf of the European Broadcasting Union. After the final, you can find the individual jury votes and televoting rankings on our website, eurovision.tv.
Okay, thanks so much for clarifying that. Now, next year, the Eurovision Song Contest will celebrate its 60th anniversary. So do you have any special celebration plans in mind?
Yeah, it's actually a diamond jubilee.
Ooh.
So 60 years is a diamond jubilee. We are working down several lanes. Some of our members has approached us, and they would really like to do something special. For instance, NDR in Hamburg, the host broadcaster in 2011, they are working on plans to set up something in Berlin. That could be a celebration. We're still working on that. We have other plans. We are working with the archive, and you see when a broadcaster can really dive into the archive, you see how much energy can come out of it, and so much fun. And it's a huge cooperation we actually are doing together, the EBU and DR. To facilitate a digital version of every year of Eurovision Song Contest in the best possible quality with full set of metadata. So you can look for la-la-las and dresses and shoes and whatever. So this will also be a part of it. And of course we have to see how we bridge the 3 shows next year in the host city, wherever it is, and how we can do that even better and more exciting to produce more content. So yes, there are ideas. We will conclude in a couple of months.
That sounds very exciting. There's something to look forward there to after the grand final here. So what else is happening in the EBU in the near future?
Well, as most of you know, the EBU is doing a lot of other events as well. They're not as big as Eurovision Song Contest, but definitely worth the attention. And I would just like to highlight the upcoming Eurovision Young Musicians on the 26th, 27th and 31st of May in Cologne in Germany. For more information, you can go to youngmusicians.tv. And of course, the Junior Eurovision Song Contest, the 12th edition, on the 15th of November in Malta. More information on junioreurovision.tv. And actually, I'm very happy to announce that on Friday, the 9th of May, at this very same place, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there will be a special Junior Eurovision Song Contest press conference with Gaia, who won the contest for Malta last year, and Vlad Yakovlev, the supervisor of the event on behalf of the EBU. So you're warmly invited to join that as well.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Jon Ole and Sitze. Now, we do have time for some questions from the audience. So if you have a question, please raise your hand so we can see them, and we'll bring a microphone to you. Yeah, let's start with this gentleman here. There's a microphone on the way.
Hi, I'm Maciej from Poland, from Polish site eurowizja.org. First, I would like to ask you about the Book of Records. How many episodes there are, and we will see them all in the broadcast. And the second question is, last year, Loreen performed Euphoria in first semi-final instead of the final. Can you reveal us this secret? When will Emily de Forest perform Only Teardrops this year?
Yeah, Emily de Forest will be performing Only Teardrops in the first semi-final. Actually, the small clip I showed you with the choir is the beginning of that act. So you will see him in a few days. And about Eurovision Book of Records, there will be 8 episodes, and they will all be in commercial breaks, but we will put them on the internet afterwards, so everybody could watch them, of course.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yes, sir?
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I've been reading some unconfirmed reports that the Spanish singer Ruth Lorenzo was hospitalized recently. Have you heard this? Do you have any update for us on her condition? That's a question perhaps for DR. And then a more hypothetical question for the EBU. What are the arrangements if an artist has to drop out? Could we see a backing singer step forward, or could the broadcaster send a replacement?
Yeah, when it comes to the Spanish singer, I have not received any other information than you are referring to. So, but I would have if she was in a condition that she couldn't perform on this stage. So I'm confident. We have a very good contact with the head of the Spanish delegation on several issues, and this has not been a topic that I'm aware of. Apart from that, I've heard that she's not well, and I hope she will get well very soon. And the other questions was...
if someone actually does have to...
we haven't really had that situation as I can remember, and we have to deal with that. I think the most logical thing would be to have one of the performers in the act to perform, but to be quite honest, we have not put up any plans for that, and we have to deal with that on the spot. My experience from very many years in TV and also dealing with a lot of theater plays is that it will take so much to have an artist not participating on stage. I've seen people with broken legs and with fever more than 40 degrees centigrade performing on stage for a short time and then collapsing after. So we will. So hopefully we will see everyone on stage this next week.
Knock on wood. Yeah, that was a question down there, and then.
Ewan Spencer, Yes, The Insight, and Forbes magazine from America. Question, probably primarily to you, Cece, but DR can pitch in as well. TV knows Eurovision is 7 hours. The internet knows Eurovision as a 365 days a year event. I wonder if you could talk about the impact and the rise of online engagement, both throughout the year and also in the week or two leading up to the live performances.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a very fair question. Over the years, we've seen the interest online throughout the year growing, and we try to facilitate that desire for more, that hunger for more information about the Eurovision Song Contest throughout the year by having new content on the website and our social media channels every single day, by putting out videos on YouTube that you can easily share, by reporting on the event in the lead up to it, by covering the national selections all over Europe as good as we can. And what we see every year is around 100 million page views on the website. We see right now over 2.5 million people joining our social media channels. And speaking of social media, and I think Jan is the right person to answer that, we have a host broadcaster this year that is so eager to connect the viewer at home and the Eurovision Song Contest that is happening right here through social media. Jan?
Yes, Jan, I don't know if you can elaborate on the way that the DBC is engaging the viewers who, well, not everyone can come to Copenhagen for the shows, obviously, so the whole fan activity online, what's going on?
Maybe I'm not the right person to ask that, but of course, there's so much activity on the internet, and we do our best to service all the fans.
But yes, Pernille?
Maybe I can elaborate. We actually had an ambition from the beginning to try to engage people. That's the Join Us idea as well. To engage people on social media as well. But this time we wanted to go a step further to actually include this activity online, on social media directly in the TV production. And this choir came out of it, and a few other things came out of it as well. As you will see in each of the 3 shows, we'll wrap up these campaigns, so to speak.
And also there's a whole coordinated virtual universe, really, on Eurovision.tv and the Danish webpage, and on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, all kinds of social media platforms. We are obviously inviting all the fans to join in different ways. So, yeah, we have a question here, sir.
Sure. And I'm here physicast.com, and if we continue from the question of my colleague, can Jan Lagermant elaborate on the opening and interval acts of the semi-finals and final, who will be the guests of the show, stuff like that? If we can short run through of them.
No, I don't think we have the time to run through them all. Yeah, maybe we could take it afterward, because there's a lot of acts in the show. So I will find you after this press conference and tell you.
Right. Yes?
Yes, hello. Do you hear me? Yes, I am. Hi, I'm Szymon. I'm from Polish Radio Newsletter. I'd like to congratulate you on changes in rules. It's really fair and it's really appreciated here. But some countries, as people say, like Turkey, they don't agree with the formula because they like televoting things. Looking at the changes in the world and all these social media things, you introduced last year this voting by special application. Could you develop how it works, how it worked last year? Are you gonna to develop this story in the future? And is it possible then? You already said that you don't think about any changes in the rules so far, but do you think that it can be additional vote over countries, I would say? You know, just one vote from televote, from the internet user, for instance, from these applications.
I'm not really sure I understood the last part of the question.
To take them all these votes as the one from the whole Europe, not just from the particular countries.
If I may elaborate a little bit first on the app, you're right. Last year we introduced voting through the official app, which is available again this year. What we saw last year is that people who use the app, and it was downloaded over 1 million times, is that people on the app vote more, because if you send a text message or you call, then you will get a message back, or you will hear on the phone, thank you very much for your vote. But if you do it through the app, you actually get a video from the artist that thanks you for your vote and asks you to support even more if possible. So we saw that reward made people vote more. And in that sense, it's very successful, not just because you can vote, but also because you get content throughout the show, informing you about the acts. You are all very well informed, you know maybe even more about all the participants than we do. But the people at home that tune in for the first time, they don't know all that information, and the commentators only have 30-35 seconds to inform them. So the app is a very good companion for the viewer. Now, when it comes to your question about putting all these votes together, if you would do that, and of course we can never see what happens in 5 or 10 or 15 years, it depends a lot on how the world and how this development continues. But if you would do that right now, you would see that the impact of big countries would be, and in Western European countries where using second screen is more advanced than in other parts of Europe, you would see that they would have a very unfair balance in the results. So right now, that is not an option.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And the gentleman down here, did you get a microphone? Yeah.
Hello.
Good party last night?
Pardon?
Did you have a good party last night?
Actually, no, but I'm still trying.
I hope it gets well.
I'm still trying to find some hour of sleep. So, Sasha Mutavic on behalf of the Eurovision Austria. First of all, a great job you're doing here and all the time about the Eurovision Song Contest and for the Danish TV. I have a question about, according to the rules of the Eurovision Song Contest, we all know them. For example, there's no allowed to commercial in the songs, etc. And just because of the fair play, I'm curious to know, for example, for San Marino in Baku, it was a Facebook song and it should be changed. But this time, the Belarusian song have a couple of timelines, Google Map, and it's also commercial, and you've done nothing. And that's why I'm curious, why the first time and why this time not?
It occasionally pops up in song references to names, like, for instance, Google Maps, and also we have been approached by by journalists that ask for the Danish lyrics as well, where there pops up something that could be regarded as commercial. The thing with the song you were referring to, it was called a Facebook song. And it was a totally different thing. It was all about Facebook. If you use references from your daily life, you cannot avoid to sometimes speak about a commercial brand or Well, this is something we have to look at every year, and we do that. We look at the lyrics. If we are in doubt, we go to the reference group, we discuss it, we see if this is any breach of the rules. But the rules are not there for this purpose. I mean, to mention something, it would be, in the end, quite stupid, I think, to run after every little line to say, oh, are you mentioning something there that could be regarded as a commercial brand and so on. That's not why we have the rule. The rule is to protect sort of the integrity of the shows, and we can use it and balance it as we like, actually.
Yes, so you have something to add?
Just to elaborate on that, it's in the end, the Eurovision Song Contest is not owned by the EBU, it's owned by the participating members, and they are represented in the reference group, in the TV committee. If they believe that according to their local legislation this is a problem, then we will have to deal with it. But this year we have not received any formal complaints about the lyrics of any of the participating songs.
Right, I'm afraid the producers are telling me to wrap it up now. We don't have time for any more questions, but if you have further questions you need answered, you can approach the head of press and the press department, and you can schedule interviews, individual interviews. So thank you so much, Jon Ola, Sietse, Pernille and Jan, for participating today. On behalf of the EBU and the DBC, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and we sincerely do hope you'll enjoy the shows and enjoy your time here in Copenhagen.